Hi, my name is Alexandra Florent. I am from Toronto, Ontario, which is in Canada, not Ontario, California, which happens to get mistaken often. I was born and raised on and off all throughout North America, which was really cool. So I lived in places like California, Florida, Georgia, and just different parts of Canada. And I became a US citizen last year, so that was really fun. I'm the only person in my family who is a US citizen, and it was just a choice that I made because I knew that I was planning on staying here for as long as I possibly can until, God has a different plan for me and I move back to another country, which I will talk a little bit more about. That's part of my story. And so I actually just got to celebrate my first 4th of July as a US citizen this year, and that was super fun. I am really excited to vote this year. I've never been able to vote. I left Canada before the voting election happened, and so I got to vote a little bit, but I didn't get to do like the full vote election. So I'm really excited to be able to partake in this. And so my family kind of lives all around the world. I have my mom and my sister live here in the United States. We all kind of, or in California, they actually live up in Costa Mesa, which is like super close. But my mom moved out here first, and then I moved out here, and then my sister moved out here. So it was really cool that we kind of all ended up here. Just God's plan. I just love that. I have family that live in Ontario. I have family that live in Calgary. I have family that live in Vancouver. I have family that live in Nova Scotia. I don't have any other family members that live specifically in the United States, just in Canada. I have family out in Iceland, Zimbabwe, Spain, Scotland, oh gosh, South Korea. So yeah, everyone's just kind of everywhere, which is super fun. And I just, it's one of my favorite things about my family is that they are world travelers. I have traveled quite a bit, and compared to my cousins, I have not traveled at all. So I just kind of love that. I completed my bachelor's through Vanguard. I got to Vanguard, I want to say around my junior year. And then I did the professional studies program, BA, like the bachelor's in early childhood with a concentration in special education. So that really, for me, is a big forefront to my teaching. I just, it really jump started my love for teaching just through this program. I ended up just picking it for the sake of picking it. I really didn't plan on becoming a teacher. That wasn't the direction that I was seeking in. I definitely was leaning more towards the administration side if I was going to pursue teaching. I actually ended up teaching TK a couple years ago, and it was during a social studies unit. We were doing maps, and I just loved it. I had so much fun. I was like, if this is what teaching is like, sign me up. And, I got to teach, core units such as social studies, um, math, English, science, entrepreneurship. And so it was just like really just fun and amazing just to kind of see like these kids light up when they really were starting to understand, the topics that we were talking about and being able to kind of really connect it to real life. And so that kind of really what jump started me into teaching. I have been teaching for 4 years. I taught pre-K for a couple of years, TK for 1 year. My first year of teacher my first year of teaching, I actually did twos and threes, which I easily found out was not my jam. I love kindergarten. I've been a substitute teacher for kindergarten classroom as well as first grade, and kindergarten's my jam. If you met me, you've seen me, I am super high energy. I'm like overly animated. I just love the excitement and level that those kids at that age are, and I really feel like I connect really well with them. And so I guess kind of going back into teaching is I actually never wanted to be a teacher. I had really negative experiences in elementary school, middle school, and high school. And so I didn't really have a moment where I was like, oh, like a teacher, what a cool job. I was like, ooh, a teacher, like I don't like teachers. And so it definitely was, my experience being a teacher in a classroom that definitely made me want to be a teacher. There wasn't really a key moment or that call that I feel like a lot of teachers have to like pursuing that career. And empathy, compassion, and humility, I believe that are crucial in shaping the minds and lives of students. And it's definitely something that I really take with me every day. I'm really big on the social emotional development within the classroom. For me, academics, the kids are going to get there at some point. They're really going to learn math and English and all of that, specifically in pre-K that I teach. My biggest thing is that they're socially and emotionally ready for kindergarten. And so we do a lot of play-based activities that are based on that really just help them get ready and prepared just for that next step. And kind of, I guess, with the aspect of, plurilingual students is I've had students that speak, one language, that speak two languages, three languages. I've had students that, don't speak English at all, only speak in their native language. And so I'm really excited to dive a little bit more deeper into this subject because I do not have a strong foundation or knowledge in this area, especially when applying it within the classroom. So I'm excited to dive in deeper into that. I guess kind of going back, my dream job would be a kindergarten teacher. I've mentioned kindergarten is my jam. Not if, after I become a kindergarten teacher, I definitely would love to become an early childhood university professor, specifically teaching early childhood units. And then I also would love to become a children's book author. I've been learning to draw for the past 2-3 years. I really want to pursue this. I cannot draw. I mean, I guess I can kind of draw now, but I've really been working towards that because it's something that I would love to pursue. My favorite kind of music is like surfer rock, so like the Beach Boys. I love all kind of worship music. It's how I start my day. It's how I end my day. I don't really have a specific worship group that I like. I just love all of it. So if you have worship song recommendations, please give them to me. My favorite food is mango sticky rice. Doesn't matter what time of day it is. I always want mango sticky rice. I think it's absolutely delicious, and I like it with a Vietnamese iced coffee as well. I have a lot of hobbies, but I guess my favorite one specifically for this summer is paddleboarding. I also like horseback riding. I like drawing. I like painting. I love reading. I love books. It's really hard for me to actually go back to school because I have to kind of go lessen my book load for reading because I could just read all day long. I like fiction. I like nonfiction. I just love all kinds of books. My favorite book series is the Harry Potter series. We just recently, my friends and I did a Harry Potter series book event, and so we got 5th place knowing so much about the books. That was super fun. A Bible verse that I really take with me is for the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. And there's a really fun song, the Fruit of the Spirit songs. If you don't know it, I'm more than happy to teach it to you. It's a song that I teach all of my students. I've been lucky to have worked mainly in a private Christian, preschool. And so I've been able to really openly and share my faith. I guess a couple other fun facts about me is I am deaf in my right ear and I have hearing loss in my other. So if you want to learn how to sign my name, it's Alexandra. That for me is my second language, is American Sign Language. I learned it when I was around 10 years old when we found out that I was deaf, and I've been signing ever since. I have broken 8 bones. I am extremely clumsy. Hopefully I don't break anything throughout the school year, but it has happened in the past where, whether it's my leg or just my toes. I recently actually, not fractured, thankfully did not fracture my toe, but I've had many injuries. And the biggest part about my story, really how I even kind of came to Vanguard, came to faith, was South Korea. I dropped out of college when I was right before I turned 19, and I ended up moving to South Korea. This was before I had family that lived out there, and it's where I ended up finding faith. I was it's a very long story, so I'm actually not going to share over on here because I'm almost at 10 minutes for talking. But if you'd like to know a little bit more about my faith journey, I would definitely love to share it with you. But it all starts in South Korea. It is my most favorite place in the whole entire world. I really hope to move back there someday. And that's it for now. Thank you so much for just listening to a little bit about me.